What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sports and Culture. I'm Tim Stainrod. First and foremost, it was good to be back. This is our first episode back in person on set since the whole quarantine happened. So, man, it's so good.
It's been a minute, bro.
It's been a minute. It's been like, what, 2-3 months? I think our last episode we did was when Kobe died.
That is the last one we
Yeah,
did.
and we're talking about January, the
Rest
week
in
after.
peace.
So first week February, I think that was the last time we did it in person. So it's good to be back. It's glad everybody's safe. I hope everybody's families are good. Things like that. Joining us today, we're gonna get started with our guest. We got Kadeem McLean. What's good, Deem?
Back per usual, doing everything again. Back trying to keep everything up to date like we were before, and just do what we've been doing, bro.
That's it. That's it.
We're here. We have a good show for tonight. Let's jump right into it. Introduce everybody else who's on here.
Yeah, man. So we got 2 returning guests today. So that's a specialty. I don't think we've had that yet on Sports and Culture. So joining us first, we got Mr. CJ. What's good, boy?
What's good, bro?
Repping his Tar Heels on his shirt.
You already know, man. Every day, bro. My guy.
It's crazy, man. We're gonna talk about it. Also, we got Mr. Sherrod Blue returning as well. What's good, bro?
What's going on, man? Blessings, man.
Definitely. So let's get started, man. A couple of topics we're gonna be talking about today. We're gonna just talk about mainly ball stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that's happening within ball within these last couple months, which is crazy because ball actually hasn't been happening, which is even insane. Like we got all these storylines, but no ball actually being played, which is crazy. But that's just the beauty of the game, man. So to get started, a couple of topics we're gonna talk about this episode. Talk about the rise in HBCU interest from top tier talent that's coming into college. There's some players that's skipping to go to college and going to straight to the G League. So that's a huge move. We talking about Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Talk about that in a little bit. We're also going to talk about the NBA. It just got announced that we got a returning schedule and date. Talking about July 31st is going to be the start.
30th.
30th?
Okay. Yeah.
First two games that opening night. It's going to be Lakers, Clippers, and it's going to be...
Man.
That's the best way to bring it in.
Yeah, Grizzlies, Jazz, I think.
That's a great way to bring it in.
Not Grizzlies, Jazz, Pelicans, Jazz. So Zion, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, still good.
Yeah,
that's still good. So we're going to get started with that, man. We also going to talk about these two gentlemen's business. We got Sherrod representing Basketball Viza, but we also have CJ representing Pressure by Diamond, which is also Sherrod's sister's company, which is crazy. We got a family thing going on here, so we definitely going to get into that. But it's 2 dope businesses, man. We got to talk about that. And a couple other things we're going to get into. We ain't going to give you too much right now, but we'll be right back.
Yeah, David. Yeah.
All right, welcome back. So before we get started, man, we just want y'all to do us a favor, if you can, please. Give us a follow on IG. You can find us at @lightup_productions. @lightup_productions. Also, for 4 episodes of our other show, which is audio-based, called Mike on Fire, you can catch 4 episodes of that on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And for 4 episodes of everything, both shows included, you can definitely catch us on YouTube. You can give us a subscribe to our YouTube channel at Light Up Productions.
And hit the like button.
Hit a like, hit a subscribe, all that, please. You know what I mean? As we just continue to bring content to our area, man. And yeah, so let's first things first, man. Let's get started with this topic. And
where are we starting with?
I honestly wanted to get right into that HBCU topic.
Okay,
man, because
me too.
Mikey Williams. I don't know. Y'all familiar with high school talent?
Yeah.
Local talent. Well, not local, but he
young talent.
Yeah, young phenomenal talent. You're looking at possibly the biggest hyped player since Zion. Really.
Yeah.
The man's a freshman, about to be a sophomore.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Crazy thing about it.
I've been seeing him for a while.
Yeah.
He been balling with Gronny in him back when he was on the Blue Chips team.
Yeah. You see him younger now though. With the internet age, they're following with cameras from like the 5th, 6th grade.
Yeah.
So you get in tune with him. One of the craziest things that I saw was that he's not even the top ranked player in his class.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's not even like that kind of is shocking, but the way it moves nowadays is everything is so rapid, and these players are so good at such a young age that that's not even that shouldn't be shocking.
What would be his
crazy.
class?
I think he's 2023.
Okay, yeah, because because I thought he was Slam Magazine had him like ranked at number 1 and number 2. I could have sworn, but if not, like I know, Imani Bates is 22.
Yeah, and tough.
And
Tough as hell.
We're talking about let me rephrase what I said before. Mikey might be the most hyped player. Hold on, since Zion, but we're talking about the actual best player. Yeah. It's gonna be Imani Bates. Like out of the last.
I think he just committed to Michigan State.
Michigan State, he just did.
He said they were the only person, the only school that reached out to him.
Really? That's crazy.
I guess everyone else thought he was going to go pro, so he said they made his decision easy. Sign to Michigan State.
I mean, the name too makes it easy. Michigan State, that organization.
It's a basketball school.
But for that to be the only coach that contacts you,
I'm surprised by that.
He's been you've been seeing him since he's like 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Because that's kind of hard to believe. When you say the only coach, you mean since this like whole quarantine thing happened, or since like before he was really known? Because there's no way. I refuse to believe with the highlights and everything that's out there on this man that no coach reached out to him.
Yeah. So I guess I want to say his father had put something out, but it was along the lines of when the recruiting period opened, the only coach that reached out was Tom Izzo. That was it.
That's crazy.
The only thing I could assume is that people thought he was going to go the pro route, so it didn't waste their time. But even then, you still shoot your shot.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
you have to shoot your shot still, man. Come on.
That's what it's about, bro.
That's interesting. I'm thinking it has to be something along the lines of the threat to go pro.
Yeah.
Which is actually becoming so normal that college is getting that scared.
Yeah.
College is getting that scared.
Did they just change up some new policies and stuff? Like to go around that?
Yeah.
Man,
the NCAA is taking a huge hit right now, especially with Jalen Green opting to go to the G League route and taking that center with him who's also a 5-star recruit, Isaiah Todd.
Yeah.
And then he's got a third person who's not as high ranked but is up there. Like if these two, especially if Mikey does go to HBCU, the regular standard like schools that I mean, obviously there's going to be players going there, but give it about another 10 years. 20 years. Let's see where it goes then. This is starting something that I don't think
prevalent in the future.
Yeah, so it's crazy because I was just doing some research and such, and I didn't know that Earl Monroe went to Winston-Salem State.
Wow.
So it's like they said that in those times going to HBCU that like it was the norm because you were nice and you did that, but I want to say it was the famous Kentucky coach.
Caleb.
Old school.
Rupp.
Okay.
He was the first one when he started recruiting black people. That's when the game changed. Yeah, but you got with top or elite prospects, they're going to bring that attention anywhere they go. Like think about it when Dennis Smith was at North Carolina State, they were never on TV until you got there.
It's a fact.
You know what I mean? So
that's a fact. Like, and that's it right there, bro. Like, who was really checking for Davidson until Curry got there?
Yeah,
like, who was really checking? Yeah. Nobody was checking for somebody like Weber State with Lillard. Yeah. You get a real player playing for these schools. It don't matter what school you at. It's gonna come.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like if this starts to be a trend with Mikey leading the charge, I would love it. Like I would absolutely love it. And that's a whole conversation into like what should be taught in our schools and everything as far as Black history. But if we can start getting these fundings and viewerships to these schools, we can start getting Black education more produced to these
That's a fact.
Like Black students.
I actually have an interesting take on that, or interesting thought. I kind of see, I don't even think the true threat to the college game is potential HBCUs. I think the true threat is to overall college is these sports, like predominantly the NBA, deciding, okay, we're going to turn this G League thing into teams having their own academies type of situation. Kind of like soccer. You'll have a Liverpool FC under 6, under a certain age, and they're with the club, and they could transfer you, they could loan you out here and there, but you're with the club from that kind of age. If this G League thing starts to get on, you get more and more players are just flooding that way. They're gonna find ways to make these
paid for it too.
They're gonna find ways to get these clubs to do, or these teams to do a system where they're actually growing their own players.
Yeah.
From scouting to putting people in Europe and Africa and just legit scouting, getting your players over here and putting them in your system from 10 years old, let's say.
I mean,
that could be how it ends up.
Yeah. It's crazy because like spending time in England playing there, you see it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I used to coach in elementary schools, and kids that play basketball for fun, but I'd be like, oh, what do you do? Like, oh, I play soccer for MK Dons.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how? Like, you're not even 10 years old. But they get them from that young because you build the player up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're paying them too. Well, not paying them at that point, maybe their parents, but when you could farm the talent, that's when you look at the elite prospects from Europe. Doncic probably been playing pro since he was 15, 16. You know what I mean? Like, and so when they come to the league, it's not new to them because they've been playing at that level pretty much all their lives. So.
Facts. And let me just ask you guys this then: when it comes to the NCAA now, like, say if they do take a hit, what do? Do they now allow people or students to start making profit off of their likeness?
Have to.
That's the only way.
I think that's the only way. That's the only way you can salvage.
Isn't that the only reason why we're skipping over college to begin with?
That's the reason.
That's the only way you do it.
HBCUs, that topic got included in a different route, but as far as going to the G League and making a name and profit off of yourself, that's a long time.
You want to know what's interesting about that though? It might be too late for them though. That might be the interesting thing because you want to know why? You want to know why? You could be paying me, but what's the ultimate objective? Like, if I heard somebody say recently, if I truly believe, and that's what I want to do, is go pro in what I'm doing, and I have people in my ear that tell me, okay, I know for sure you're at least a second round pick, or I know for sure you're going in the first round. What's the benefit of me going to play in college against college level players than me going to the G League to play against and get people getting ready for the NBA?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the incentive for me to actually go to college? Right. If I was going to go to college and leave early anyway.
That's a great.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, the player in that situation that's going to go to college is the one that
wants the college experience.
Yeah, or doesn't need the money.
Mm-hmm. Or doesn't need the money.
So, or it's a family thing. You might want to go to just like your father's alma mater. You just want to honor, like whatever reasons that happens. Yeah. But besides that, you're right.
Things start to get very interesting.
It does.
I mean, and I love the dude to death, but Sebastian Telfair should have went to Louisville. Shouldn't have went. She wasn't suited for the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
it was tough. But
coming up from where he came from, how do you tell him to turn down millions of dollars? She changed his family life at that point.
Yeah. I think that's the best example of like a player being so good in your eyes until they get to the league.
He was like God in high school.
Yeah, he was a monster.
Yeah. He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be like an elite point guard in the league right now.
That's a high school legend.
You know,
that's a high school legend.
Obviously in his veteran years at the moment, that's where he would be. But like, come on,
he's supposed to be a documentary.
Yo, I watched that every day in high school.
Where did he go again?
Lincoln
in New York.
Lincoln just got a long string of
so many
point guards and
so
players.
Many. Oh my god,
it's crazy. And what year was he in school for? Like,
he graduated. I think he graduated the year I graduated. I think he graduated 04.
Okay, yeah, he was a monster.
He went straight to the league, right?
Straight to the league.
Should have went to college.
Mm-hmm.
Committed to go to Louisville.
Yes,
and backed out, man.
Yeah,
couple years with Patino would have done him right.
Got him righteous.
Like you said, yo, you don't know. Like, it's a difference in that league, bro. It's just a physical difference. It's a speed difference. It's an IQ difference. It's just better coaching difference. Like,
it's an efficiency difference.
It's
an efficient. I feel like efficiency is the most important thing within all of this because I feel like efficiency encapsulates everything. Because the harder you work and the more you do it, the more efficient you become at doing it. So you might think you're real nice right now because you're clipping everybody at the high school level. But when you're getting to that level of somebody who's that nice on the NBA level and they've been doing it for 10 years, you haven't seen that. You just simply haven't seen that, and until you put your toe in it,
work on this.
Every single day. They live their life like that.
That's their
you doing it for fun right now. You don't even realize that this is
right.
Like you want to do it as a pro, but you don't realize what pro ball is until you play football. No, it's different.
Facts. You're trying to get to the pros while you're trying to remain in the pros.
Facts. It's a different thing.
It's a great analogy right there.
Do any of you guys know who Rick Brunson is?
Brunson.
Yeah.
Why that name sound familiar to me?
Yeah,
His 2K rating probably was like a 40. Like, he was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I seen him playing a pro 60 easy.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
No, Rick Barnes is tough. Rick Barnes is
easy.
tough.
Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this dude's terrible. But it just tells you the level that, you know, he bounced from team to team, but like easy 60. No sweat, efficient, like didn't gun.
His son is in the NBA now.
Oh, yeah?
Jalen
Where is he from?
Jalen Brunson is his son?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you.
Jalen's nice too. He's tough.
Jalen's tough. Lefty.
But it's like,
but that just speaks to the talent level, bro. It's different. And then it's like, as generations go, it's like, we can get into this conversation, but it's like talent level and which era is tougher and this and that. But it's like, and this actually leads me to my next point or topic is like, but starting with what I was going to say, as generations get up there, right, in talent, you know, do you just find like, you know, I don't know, how should I say this? Like maybe, like, well, I wouldn't say that because you can never really compare eras. Let me not even say what I'm about to say because it's like I hate even making that comparison because there's just so many things that are different. Like you can't say like, you know, it's harder fouls because the fouls is what made up for the lack of talent in some of those areas. So I can't even forget what I was about to say. I was about to go down the path. But what I will say is this though, for the new players that are up and coming, who has caught your eye? And we already made some mentions of like Imani Bates, Mikey Williams. I like Noah Farrakhan personally. He's a smooth point guard.
East Carolina.
Just committed to East Carolina.
Yeah.
Josh Christopher's tough. I know he committed to Arizona State.
What about Caleb Love?
I like Caleb Love. Caleb Love.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara, where did he commit? Not say Alvin Kamara. I'm sorry. The play for not Brewster. Terrence Clark. I'm sorry. That's what I'm thinking of. I said Alvin Kamara. Terrence Clark. Have y'all seen him play?
I know the name.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play though. For me, I like Cade Cunningham. Coming to go to Oklahoma State. 6'7" point guard. Tough.
You say he's 6'7"?
6'7" point.
He's 6'7" point. Yeah, he's tall.
He's like I think he's the second ranked player in this class in 2020. Smooth though.
Bro, he's tough.
Yeah,
he's tough.
Smooth from Mount Vernon.
And so that's kind of like
Bird be having their talent pool is crazy though. Like think of it, and I'm not even just talking about that was solid Cooper. I'm talking about legit NBA players. We're talking about R.J. Barrett. We're talking about D'Angelo Russell. We're talking about Ben Simmons. That's all in recent times.
Yeah,
since 2015.
I want to say that D'Angelo and Ben played on the same team too, right?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
for a high school team. Come on now.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
But that just goes to my abandoned point I was trying to make, but I didn't want to go down that road. Like I was hesitant because that's a whole conversation in itself as far as like which eras, like do the eras get tougher? Like we claim
eras have to get tougher, bro.
We keep saying they're getting softer, but are they really?
No, I think
are they really getting softer? Bro?
In a different way?
The game isn't played the same though.
It's not the same. I left it alone, but I want to go there. I'll go there. Like because as these players, you cannot tell me Imani Bates can't do damage in college 5 years ago.
I think it's more when people have that conversation, it's about the league though, because more often than not, when you hear people compare eras, it's hand checking. Like, back in the day, you can hand check how physical it was, or with the lack of physicality in game today, people wouldn't be able to survive. But you adapt to your surroundings. So
adaptation, yeah, that's literally what I'm talking about.
If I'm Bron and I know if I flop, they're gonna give me a foul. I'm going to the line. Probably gonna do that.
And then if they've been giving you a foul for every type of call, like every time you went in and someone tapped you and they gave you a foul, guess what? I'm gonna start looking for that now if I get one of those. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where it is. But if you stop getting those calls when you get them, now you're not even gonna be worrying about looking for the call. Now you're gonna just go up, not expecting to get a call, and make it happen.
That's why James Harden's game is kind of funky to watch, but you got to credit him on his overall ability to get it done. Yeah. In terms of finding a way to get points on the board, because the way he uses you against yourself is crazy. Like his handle is I don't even know. There's no other way for me to explain it. It's just he gets to where he's going. He has a very Euro kind of game. Like he doesn't have the tradition. Like I don't know how to really explain it, but he's very good with angles.
Like who? Like a New Age Manu.
Yeah, he's like a new age man. He's like
offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just very tough. And on top of it, I always say everything he's doing coming from a dominant left side is always a killer too, because as a player, more often than not, even though it's not a true difference, even though it is, you're kind of used to everything coming from like just the dominance, more so right. Like everything you
defend it different. You have
psychologically different.
Mm-hmm.
You're already psychologically behind.
It's actually to add to what you're saying. I'll let you say. It's like the way you defend him. You don't even realize you're defending him differently because he's a lefty.
Yeah.
And he's exploiting those minute like things that you're not even like. It's defending a lefty. You're not as strong defending a lefty as you are defending a righty. Naturally, when you defend righties more. And that's what I'm saying.
He's
like,
the perfect
defending
example.
a lefty who's elite. He's gonna expose that more often than not, because it's a style of defending that you're not really typically as used to, like jumping. Like it's just everything is different. The way you shuffle to the right, to the left.
He's perfected understanding his game and how his game throws you off to the point where he's now literally saying, "All right, I'm gonna get fouled on this play," and he can do that. Because he knows he's going to put you in a compromised position where, you got to kind of last minute swipe and I'm going to bring it up and that's a foul. And I'm going into the shot. I might make the shot. That's 3 points. I'm making this free throw. He's manipulating the game that and I find it's just an art. Some people he's just doing the game. He's a different artist in the game. That's what he is.
He's an all-time great,
bro.
He is.
Yeah.
All-time. And
I need him to win to validate it, but...
And then if you're talking about going back to old tapes and stuff.
Do we need wins to validate?
I think so.
Yes,
play being great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So then why do we consider Allen Iverson to be so great?
Because I think he did more than what he did on the court. I think he changed the culture of the NBA.
100%.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? Plus, that's my man. He was
don't get me wrong. Allen Iverson is my favorite player. But I'm just asking for that context.
I honestly believe that for our era,
and you are right.
for our era, AI, we hold him in very high regard. A lot of people before actually think we overrate him a little bit. I've heard that quite a bit.
Conversation
yeah, I've heard that quite a bit, and I'm not really mad at them. But when I think honestly, I would say the first time I knew I fell in love with the NBA is obviously early 2000s era. That's because I got a couple years under my belt. I'm grasping everything. I'm seeing the game. You got Kobe and Shaq later, three-peat. Yeah. First evil thing, the first team you really get to hate like that. You know what I'm saying? Now you're watching the game for multiple reasons. You want to see them lose. You know? But when I think of 2000s, you have Kobe, Shaq, you have AI, you got Dirk, Steve Nash, KG, Tim Duncan. Like those are the names. But AI literally changed the culture of the league.
He did, most definitely.
Literally, back then you would see your accessories here and there. He was the style, like how Russell Westbrook is in. He was the style. He's coming in back. Yeah. His shorts was baggy differently. Like I said that on our Mike on Fire podcast. His shorts was baggy different. He had somebody braiding his hair on the sideline. He had the do-rag. Yeah. You feel me? He had the Jada Kiss commercials off the court.
He embraced hip hop like no other figure.
And now you can't go a single game without seeing an arm sleeve. But he made that poppin'. Yeah, now every single game, there's not one. You'll probably find maybe a total of 5 minutes for the entire NBA season where there's no stretch with like an arm sleeve on the court.
But
transcendent.
That's what I'm saying. It goes to the aesthetic of who he was as a figure. Like Dennis Rodman was different because of his aesthetic, his impact, and the risk he was able to take just being himself.
Facts.
AI was himself, and it's like, but being himself was with a lot of like some of these. I'm trying to be funny. Some of these white people were like, oh, he's a thug, he's this and that. It's like, bro, like no, this is just somebody, and that's why a lot of young people resonated with him because it was just like that's somebody literally representing how I like. It's cool to be like myself, and you know,
like
what I mean?
This is how we dress.
This is
This is.
You want to know? You said it. He said it on because we actually had an episode of Mike on Fire. Check us out on shameless plug. Check us out on
nice plug.
But we had a top 10 culturally important figures, and when we came to AI, he actually made a very great point about it. Because AI isn't. You don't look at AI and assume this is a professional athlete. You know what I'm saying? He's small in what he does. You know what I'm saying? But it was like a figure that you could look at and be like, all right, this is somebody like us who made it to the league. You know what I'm saying? And that really resonated with our time because you're like, okay, you don't gotta be 6'8" to make it to the league.
Yeah.
You could be 6' nothing and tough and get there.
Yeah.
And it was the first like kind of like big brother type of situation that we really had for our age at least. And he had mentioned that, and that actually really resonates with me because that's true. Somebody to actually look up and have that and think you can actually do that.
Yeah.
That's important. And that's why he's so great for our time, bro.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's a fact, bro.
Cultural figure.
Yeah, man. But now, going back to the young players, man. Like we were talking about, some of the ones that we made mention. Like other ones, even like DJ Wagner, and I mean,
he's number one player in that class.
Yeah,
they got him ranked above Mikey.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That class gotta be tough. Is Bronny in that class?
Yes.
I believe so.
Nah, that class is tough.
No, Bronny, he's ranked low.
Yeah, he's
but,
in that class.
He'll come up. He's gonna rise.
The
He's gonna
potential.
rise.
Can we talk about him real quick?
Bronny?
Bronny, yeah. Can we talk about him real quick? So here's the thing, right? I'm always getting comparisons actually between Bronny and Mikey. Mainly because they played on the same Blue Chips team.
Yeah.
And that's where like they kind of, even gave Cup to that white boy that was playing with him who's nice. Who can shoot.
Yeah.
A lot of players, that 7 foot tall, big dude, Big Job.
Got the braid look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Javon, something like that.
Yeah.
He should be playing
dude.
D-line. That's he's big as hell, bro. He's like,
bro.
first of all,
Hold on, let me tell you.
he's big, but like so big that you almost can't tell how tall he actually is.
Yeah.
Until he's just finger rolling it in the cup. You're like, nah, my man's head is at the net right now.
Jazier.
I'm surprised he could dunk.
Big.
So
Let me see him.
Yo, he's big, bro.
Yeah.
I saw a video of him recently. I was like, yo, somebody just get this man a gym. Just get him a gym. That's it.
Was it the Jordan run that they just did? Because I watched they had.
I seen he was playing a bunch of 1-on-1s. It was like in this tight little gym.
It was with the YouTube.
Yeah. And I was like, yo, if somebody just get him right in the gym, he's gonna be a problem. Because he's just big.
Like
he's
just get him
huge,
tall.
Like Charles Barkley?
No, he's bigger than
bigger
Charles.
than that.
Bigger than Charles, bro.
Bigger than Charles.
Probably taller too.
No, he
Yeah,
is.
he's way taller. He looks like
He's
he's
7 foot, son.
He gotta be 7 foot. He looked like at the very least 6'10".
He was standing above.
He's the one with like the mini afro, right? Like the.
He
got something going on.
He has like a mohawk with like curls and stuff going on. But I think it was Jazier or something. But he was standing above LeBron like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, which was crazy. But anyways, going back to Bronny, man, it's like, how do y'all feel about him? And I can real quick start because the potential's there, and more so to get this out the way, he's not going to be LeBron. He is not LeBron. He is not at LeBron's level at this moment in time. I know that nobody's going to be LeBron.
He's going to be like Michael Jordan.
There's got to be somebody else.
He has his genes.
He has his genes from the. He has his genes, but then
I'm gonna make
he
an
doesn't.
interesting point, but I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah. He's not going to be LeBron. I'm not saying he won't be good. I'm not saying he won't win championships. I'm not saying he won't be successful. But when we're talking about like actual, like LeBron is literally a freak of nature, bro.
Oh, yeah,
like
I understand.
LeBron is probably the most athletic body I've ever seen, with athletic skill I've ever seen. Real shit. So with that being said, I'm letting go of my expectations of this man trying to be anything like his father. Now, with that being said, I do believe he can obtain success, just a different route. But as far as similarities in game, I love the way he sees the court. I love his
He rises like
rapid growing
Rises like
athleticism.
him.
He can rise up, and he's only a freshman. And then from last year to now, I see the tremendous growth. So I can only imagine 2 years from now what it's going to be like versus 5 years from now. So I'm looking at that angle. But maybe the lack of aggressiveness is what does it for me. I don't know if it's. I got to keep in mind the minutes. He was not starting over Brandon Boston. He was not starting over
Brandon Boston is tough, though.
Brandon Boston is tough.
Brandon Boston
He's
is
tough. And it's like you also had Zaire Wade there. You also had other players there too. So he's a freshman. So he's not going to get certain minutes. He's not going to get as many opportunities. But the times I did see him on court, he did make a difference. He had that game against LeBron's old alma mater, Trinity.
Yeah.
He was the difference actually.
Yeah.
He sealed the game-winning steal with the last game-winning layup.
Yeah.
So it's like moments like that is what does it. It's not even the stats; it's just the moments. So with all that being said, I do see him reaching a level of success because the intangibles are there. I just do not see him being like his father, which is okay. Who's gonna be like LeBron?
I got two things for that.
Like
right?
you shoot for the moon, you end for the clouds. I'm okay with landing on the clouds. So that's where I'm at.
So going back to the whole Bron, he won't be Bron thing. I got 2 points for that. I think actually him being LeBron's son and being at the high school ranks now, but not benefiting from being LeBron's son, like being at a school where there are players that's better than you right now, and I don't care that you're LeBron's son, so you're gonna sit on the bench. That toughen you. Things like that stay with players as they grow. You might think it doesn't, but it does. So that right there already is a difference in for his father, that his father didn't really. LeBron was LeBron. Like, everybody knew Bron was. Everybody knew what was up with Bron from way before. So honestly, that. But then the flip side of LeBron actually being his dad, like we're talking about potentially the greatest player to ever play, right? Depending on where you fall on the fence. I don't particularly fall on that side, but but honestly,
it's
that you having that as a father figure and him actually being influential in your life, like every day he's essentially a father coach in your life. Every single day you're going to the games to soak in the experience of actually what being a professional is. All that stuff, LeBron didn't have that. So to say that I don't like, he has the genes, and I feel like LeBron is also very good off the court with that whole, like, just being a father, being a great role model in general. That I can't see Bronny getting to. If Bronny has the talent to get to that level, I can't see how it's gonna feel. I really can't, because to have ginormous a figure in your corner.
Yeah. I would love to be pleasantly proven wrong, because I'm not trying to say he will fail. I'm actually, what I'm doing is removing my lofty expectations of him being like LeBron, and it's just simply not going to happen. I mean, it's unrealistic to think that he could be like that. But I'm not saying he won't be an excellent player, with the skills. It's just a certain thing. But I will say this though, and Bronny is in a very particular, in a special place in NBA history, to believe it or not, because like you said, LeBron, who's arguably one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest. This would be the first time we have someone of that caliber's son in the league. Now, we never got to see Jordan's kids in the league like that. You know what I mean? Like, we never got to see somebody of that caliber in the league. Let alone at the same time if it happens. So here's what I say to that.
That'd be exciting.
I think he's going to try to play with him.
And if here's the thing, if it happens, and he even has a remote thing of success, like he's solid, that family now, even if he's not LeBron, his own pathway is now cemented, because if he's good and he's the reason why a team wins a chip, let's just say, bro, that in itself is an accomplishment to now live up, because everybody, even though they place the standards on you, acknowledge that the standards are lofty and is way too high for kids that come out of those situations. Like any person who's known, their kids are going to have unrealistic expectations. So for you to even meet something of that caliber, like to get to a championship and maybe win, that's like, bro, I think for me, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself, I think that's all Bronny would have to do really for me to be like, okay.
I mean, I think for me, with being the son of an ex-NBA player, the expectations set are dependent on how good your father was. So like we talk about DJ Wagner, never said nothing about how nice his father was. His father scored 100 in high school. DeJuan Wagner is a legend in New Jersey.
That's DeJuan Wagner shit?
Exactly.
Wow. Oh, man.
DeJuan Wagner is tough. So you think about things like that, like Jalen Brunson. No one kind of holds him to any standard, because you don't really think about Rick Brunson in that light. You know what I mean? Like, I think one of the illest things with Bronny is that the basketball pedigree that he's around in terms of Bron and his circle, you can't get any better than that. Chris Paul, Melo, Wade, Bron, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like he has the access to the resources. And to your point too, I don't think that him not being that aggressive is bad either, because Bron wasn't aggressive until he got to Miami.
I was thinking about
that. No, and that was the thing. It's not even saying that in a bad light, because that's more of I'd rather play with somebody because he knows he's more efficient, number one. Mikey's more aggressive, and Mikey score more points, but you keep try to do that in the league. Now, you want aggression in the league. I'm not taking away from that. It's just a style of play.
It's more exciting to watch someone that scores more, ultimately.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not always necessarily what's going to help you win, though.
Exactly why he's playing the way
and that's why I can appreciate players that played certain roles even more so than a player that might have been more talented than them. Sometimes, because for me, and the perfect player I throw out, just like that we mentioned him earlier, Manu. Manu is honestly, when I think Manu's probably my favorite international player ever. And he's just one of the perfect. If I was to try and tell somebody who I want to just pick up how you should actually perform, how you should carry yourself as a professional within a system, and just always be ready to do your job, even though you can be starting, you're coming off the bench. Manu is the perfect example because he just did his thing.
Yeah.
The year they won that first championship as a group, I'm talking when they have Tim Duncan and they have
David Robinson.
David Robinson. He was injured, but he came back that year. Yeah. So you had David Robinson, they had Tony Parker, Manu. Manu was balling that year. Manu was an all-star. That was his first year making an all-star.
Yeah. They
got to the playoffs. Pop was like, all right, we need you to come off the bench. He was just like, I bet. Scored his cool 18 off the bench. They go and win the chip. He's a 6-man for the rest of his career. Like he didn't the 1 year he didn't start. He was an all-star. Like you gotta be willing. Like come on,
he was an all-star.
The 1 year he starts.
Yeah.
The 1 year he starts.
He was a starter for that 1 year. Okay,
yeah, so the 1 year he's starting, he makes the all-star team. So he's clearly quality enough to be that caliber of player. Yeah. And then from the rest of his career on, he's a 6-man.
Wow.
And he just accepts that role, and he's just great in that role. He's just
that could tell you a lot about a person's mentality, though, man. You know, do you want to accept this role to win games, or do you want to be the man and on a bad team? That's
it has a difference in mindset.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a great point we were talking about with Bonnie, man. I wish the best for him. I definitely do. I would love to see him excel. If you can even, I hate doing this, but if you can get to that level, man, that would be incredible. Because we've never had a player like. That's why LeBron is so looked at in such a high esteem, because the expectations on this man, he was able to excel and surpass them. So if Bonnie can do that, I hate putting pressure on him, but if he can, but I'll tell you this though. Everybody's talking about him, but y'all gotta also watch out for that Bryce. Bryce can ball.
Bryce
got the jumper too.
Yeah, Bryce actually might be more
got the jumper.
a physical presence, I think.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think Bryce will be bigger. He just looks bigger. He man, I don't know. It's different styles, but I think he could do his thing. He got a shot though.
I think Bronny is well on his way to the league though.
Yeah.
Like if I look at the way the game is moving, the game is transcending, he is definitely on his way to the league. And you have those type of connections, you're at least gonna get the shot. You feel me? And I see him. I definitely see him. Filling out more. Obviously, he's not done growing. There's no way. He'll get more physical. He'll get more comfortable playing.
And he's playing against the top talent.
In the country.
He's not,
the thing people don't realize about the way the game grows is you're kind of always playing in your group of players. The best of your group always continues to move on. But you're kind of playing. That's why you get to the league and you're playing against dudes you used to play against in AAU. You feel me? The NBA trends in a way that margin in age isn't really too far off. Like you're gonna occasionally get your Vince Carters playing against dudes who are 18, because that's you're gonna have those here and there situations. But for the most part, there's a window in which you're playing against. So all you gotta do is stay the best in your window. Continue to be the best in your window, because that's how the game trends. So that's why a player can struggle for his first couple years, but then once he gets a couple years in the league, he's now all of a sudden the veteran. And now he's playing the game from a completely different perspective than you, because he realized what works for him, right? Plus, he's now playing against people who are trying to figure it out. And while he has already figured it out.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? That's how the game works.
Yeah.
That's why I gotta say this, and we're gonna transition. I was loving Ja Morant this year, because he ain't here.
He's a monster.
He was like, yo, I knew y'all was in here for a minute, but I'm about to come in here and just still do what I do. But real quick, man, we want to leave time for y'all businesses, man. We want to talk to, I'll start with Sherrod, since Sherrod was a little more established with that. So as far as basketball Viza, man, how's it been? What's the update? Everything good? What's going on with that?
So
and first, before, can you explain what basketball Viza is to people who are just tuning in? Because we're assuming they saw the last episode.
Got you. Yeah, so basketball Viza is just pretty much the offspring of, me and a good friend of mine. He played soccer in Europe while I played basketball. While he was out there, it kind of just came up with the idea like, hey, I'm going to start a business with soccer. I'm going to retire. He's like, I'm just going to throw pro combines and have people come out and try out. And I was like, oh, it sounds good, whatever. You don't really think anything of it. And he actually did it. He put in the sweat equity and it blew up. So now he's got the youth, he had the youth side of it. Now he's also doing the pro side. But, with the pandemic, everything kind of slowed down. So we started the basketball side, me, a good friend of mine, Jamal Gibbs, my friend Joe, and another business partner, Cecilia. And just trying to give people, that come from the environment that we come in, opportunities to play professionally.
Sure.
When I was coming up doing that, I didn't really have anybody to lean on. I kind of just figured out things myself. So the fact that I could kind of be a voice and a mentor and provide the platform for people to kind of elevate their skills to the next level, that's gratifying for me.
Facts.
Then we kind of added the community aspect in it with some of the clinics that we were doing. But now it's just kind of back to ground zero. We were working out of the Y in Westport, but I think now it's just going to be more hands-on. So doing like individual sessions with kids. Been doing those around the town. So just trying to get my hands more on the youth. Also because I feel like I'm a little bit out of touch. The reports that I get on kids that are the elite athletes around here are that they're just lost. They don't understand the value of adding books to the equation or what a student athlete really is. So, just trying to, kind of bridge that gap and provide that aspect in education through just teaching them basketball. You're more inclined to listen to someone that came from where you came from and that, made it to where you want to be. It resonates more. So that's where we're at now, man.
Cool.
Just getting our hands dirty.
And so, do you see yourself trying to add more people to the team as you progress? How would that work out?
So, right now with it being at the ground level, it'll probably just be me and Jamal. But before everything hit, we were bringing coaches on, to do the sessions. So as long as you have a passion for it, you're professional. You got an opportunity with me. You know what I mean? So definitely once it grows again, we'll be back to where we were before. But for now, anyone personal sessions, let me know. Definitely, in any age group. Well, not any age group, preferably high school and middle school, elementary a little bit. But yeah, man. So that's it. Just kind of getting back into it with the community.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. I know you was talking about it before and how when it first got started, you dove more into it, like how it first got started and everything. But to see you, and this was last year now that you were first on.
Yeah, last year. Yeah, I want to say we did it last year, maybe a year.
Yeah, last year.
Around this time, maybe.
Maybe a little later, like July, August.
It was hot.
I know it was warm. Yeah.
But it was last year, yeah. So, you're still going, which may not seem like a lot, but, it is. Every year that you still keep it on something, especially with all that's been happening with this coronavirus and, unforeseen stuff happening. Keep pushing, bro. That's what's up.
Of course.
Definitely, man. So, talking about you now, which is, again, reminding y'all, this is CJ and Diamond Blue, who's Shabazz sister. Shout out to Diamond. What up, Diamond? I see you. See you, Pressure. See you.
Pressure makes diamond.
So talk about that, bro. Talk about what's been going on and how, you can't really speak for her too much, but just your angle in all this and how the process has been for y'all developing this.
So to be honest with you, man, this process is 8 years coming. For her, really longer than that,
Okay.
Like when I first met her, she told me what she wanted to do. Having her own shoe was a part of that when I met her 8 years ago. So me learning the things that I did with working with the sneaker show in Connecticut and working at sneaker rehab, working at certain shoe stores.
Rehab.
Yeah. Working at certain shoe stores, I learned how shoes are developed, how they're sold, how they're marketed. And I tapped into her, she changed my life, I wouldn't be the man that I am without her. So with that,
smart man right there.
Real talk. Real talk, It's real, and whatever I can do to help that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? And pressurebydiamond.com. The shoes are up for pre-order. It's women's shoes, but there's unisex clothing as well. So fellas, tap in, get your woman right, get yourself right.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
I'll buy some.
Yeah.
Yo, Shirai, how do you feel right now
Support it.
About what?
about Diamond and
That's like my daughter, man. You know how that go, man. I called her today. I told her, I'm just like, how's the business moving? She's like, everything's going well. I'm like, yo, I'm over the moon for you. Because I know, the sweat, tears, and, I've had those conversations where, she's not really where she wants to be. And I always tell her, other people's journey is not yours.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So,
especially when this is exactly what she's wanted done.
Yeah. Facts. So I told her, I'm just like, yo, should I make the story, that much better when the time comes? And I was here. So,
first of all, man, for anything that's of quality, it's gonna take time to develop. Especially if you're trying to develop your own image, your own brand. Not getting spoon fed and you need to sustain your own brand, your own style. So, that's it.
Not only that,
individuality,
but black business.
Black business, black ownership. Man. Yeah. We have to take control of the things that we want. If we want something and it's something that we want to put out into the world, own it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Don't just wait for somebody else to do it to support them. Yeah. We can do it ourselves and support them.
Facts.
And just starting is the thing.
That's it. And don't belittle your ideas either, bro. Because I'm sure, even second guessing style choices that she probably made. She may not like a style. I'm just guessing now. I'm just speculating. But I would assume if I'm a clothing designer, I would probably have a design in mind, and then maybe close to even getting to that time of making it official. You know what? I'm feeling it. How many times does that happen? I'm sure more times than you can count. So it's
a lot.
This is the process. This is literally I've thrown out a whole script, and this is crazy. I wrote this is 5 years ago. I'll never forget. I wrote a 198-page script. Threw it out. Threw it out. I did not like the premise. I liked it.
Just threw it out.
I told my parents about it. They were like, okay. Nah, I just threw it out. But that's the process, bro.
Sometimes it's part of the process.
Working your craft. It was just honestly, look back on it. It wasn't a waste. It was just designing, figuring out my lane and what I wanted to do.
It gave you experience you didn't have before, bro. That's all it was. You sat through a process that you thought was great, and then once you was done, you was like, you know what? I could actually be better than this. And now you having that experience and doing that is what led you to realize, okay, we can do even better. Sometimes that's the lesson.
Most times, experience is the best teacher, man.
Every time, I think.
We're talking about just how if you keep working on your craft, even if it's something that's not going to see the light of day, just the fact that you're finding your lane, finding what style fits you, and whatever it is that you're trying to do, if it's creatively, if it's music, if it's whatever it is, just making sure it's representative of whatever it is that you're trying to bring. Because otherwise, what's the point? You're just another Joe Schmo. So that's dope as what Diamond is doing with that. And do you have anything to say as far as upcoming? You said she has a pre-order thing coming up.
Yeah, right? Pre-order just released. It'll be open for another week or two. More clothes are going to be introduced. Some actual fashion pieces, some more T-shirts, maybe some hoodies. We got a lot in the works.
Support will be. Yeah, we'll be there.
Yo, Shirai, I actually have a question, yo. What about your merch? I know you got
QC
merch
guy,
too.
QC Jarrett in
well,
the background.
I mean, we could get anything pressed, really. We haven't really been pushing it, trying to make sure the business is right. But, shirts, hoodies, all that stuff is still there.
I just want to make sure that people now in the world, they can get their hoodies and shirts too.
So
that's a fact.
Some of the stuff is on the website, but most more people that know. If it's someone that's just yo, you got any of those hoodies, we go get it printed up. It's pretty light, but
where can, because he gave us the information, but where can we follow you on Instagram, for basketball Viza and stuff?
So for me personally, it's at It's P Blue, so ITSP and then the word blue, and then for basketball Viza, it's at basketball Viza, Viza VIZA.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So wrapping it up, man. So we want to just do a quick overview. So one more time, CJ over here representing Pressure by Diamond.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to Diamond Blue. And so definitely make sure y'all support them. There's local business trying to trying to do it, and they got a style, man. I want y'all to check it out. Tell me if y'all like it. Also, man, check out Basketball Viza, and if you have kids that are interested, please check them out. They do great work, and there's passionate people behind these projects, so definitely check them out. And keep doing your thing, Sherrod, with that. And theme,
shout out Hollow Hoops real quick too.
Facts. Definitely want to give a shout out to Hollow Hoops.
Guys, them.
They just provide basketball and footballs and other sports gear. I'll say they provide sports gear that you're able to play in low light. It glows in the dark. So if you want to get a basketball game and there's no street lights out there, you good.
No excuses.
Listen, you're good. There's no more excuses.
What he said? What Michael Jordan said? If you don't want to play like that, don't play like that.
If you don't want to play like that, don't play like that. Man, listen, man. Since this fell, shout out to Ray Allen, man.
Listen, God!
If you're gonna say it,
listen. You don't have to talk to KG if he don't want to talk to you, Ray.
Oh my
If you don't want to talk to him, you don't got to talk to him.
Nah, I gotta respect before we even get off. I gotta shout respect because that Celtics team, that might be the last true representation of throwback basketball.
Yeah,
that Celtics team in terms of attitude and approach to the game.
Okay,
because they really carry that shit off the court. Like they not fucking with Miami. They not.
Yeah.
You can't.
They carried that shit. They like, okay, off the court, we not about to buddy with you. Like we
Okay,
trying to beat you.
Paul wasn't going at LeBron. He was, man. People need to stop disrespecting Paul. Yeah, he be saying some stuff. Let's not act like this man wasn't on the front lines trying to. He's the reason why they won a championship. Not saying they could have done it without KD. He was the Finals MVP. Come on, man. Miami, he was going at LeBron's neck.
He's still mad though.
Still mad. He is. He is.
He's still tight. That
he said somebody was
top 5. Top 5, yeah. Bugging.
That's blasphemy.
Bugging.
Come on.
Even Jay Williams was like, come on, Paul. Like, you know when you make a face, you know it's about to be something now. Like this conversation now turns into just a regular conversation on the Get Up, versus now this is going to be something that every sports network is going to be talking about. Yeah. Paul Pierce still won't let go of whatever. So man, listen. But anyways, we're good. Listen, everybody, we want to thank you for joining us for another episode of Sports and Culture. I'm Tim Stainrod once again. This is Kadeem McLean.
Lighter Productions.
Lighter Productions.
Light up.
Follow us on Instagram one more time. Light up _productions.
Oh, God.
Sherrod, thank you again for joining us.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you
conversation.
Yes, sir.
I know, bro.
And we'll be back. Thank you.
Blessings.
Cool.